So, as you know, our Wednesday lunch group has been going over forgiveness, a diocesan-led program on forgiveness. And because of that, I've been reminded a lot of Philip Yancey's What's So Amazing About Grace. Because many of the stories he presents in the book are centered in one way or another around forgiveness. In one of his stories, he talks about a friend of his who is a minister. And this friend of his realized one day that he needed to just go beyond preaching and teaching to those who were good, normal, upright people. He realized he needed to do like what Jesus did, go to the tax collectors and the sinners, that is, those who are seen as very much less than good and even despised by society. So he decided to go and preach to neo-Nazis and white supremacists. That's right. He went to the worst of the worst in our society. He went to the worst kinds of racists you can possibly imagine. Because he realized that the love of God isn't just for the supposed good and upright people. The love of God is meant for everyone, even the worst of the worst. Even those who we dislike, even our greatest enemies and the greatest enemies of society. And his hope in doing this was that these white supremacists, these neo-Nazis, would grow to see that God loved even them. And with that, his further hope was that maybe those folks, those neo-Nazis and white supremacists, could move beyond their racist tendencies and go on and share that love of Jesus Christ with all others. This is what Jesus means when he tells us to love our enemies. That we're called to go out and share that love with others. Even if we don't particularly like those people, and even if we find those particular people awful human beings, we're called to go out and share that love with all people. Now, this isn't always an easy path, and that was the case for Yancey's friend as well. It took him quite a while to come to this realization that he needed to go to even neo-Nazis and even white supremacists and share with them the gospel and minister to them. In the end, Jesus' love is not just for one person or another, it's for everyone. And we are called to share that love. Because sometimes even we are that worst of the worst. And so when we experience that love of Christ, we are called in turn to share that love with everyone we meet, even those who we may not like very much.